Welcome in, everybody. I am James Herbin here for the play-by-play for Temple Ice Hockey here tonight. Temple 2-2 taking on the 0-1-1 Rutgers Scarlet Knights here at the Northeast Skate Zone. Temple in their first 4 games, 2 W's over TCNJ in their last 2 games, 2 L's against William Patterson University and George Mason. Rutgers coming in, 2 losses against Oswego, looking to get their first W of the season tonight, and we are just about ready to get underway at Northeast Skate Zone between the Scarlet Knights and the Temple Owls, and we are off and ready to go. Temple with possession to start things off. Giving it off to Rutgers on their side of the ice. Gonna go all the way to the other side, and Temple retains possession once again. Temple led by head coach Adam Calabrese. Rutgers led by head coach Joe Dixon. Both these teams just getting started in both of their seasons. Very early for the fall side of the schedule. And Rutgers gets going with a little breakaway here. Number 12, it was for Rutgers. Number 12, Alex Seck, the 5'9", 155 freshman, had a shot on goal early in this one, just 45 seconds in. There's going to be a face-off on Temple's side of the ice. It's going to be between Max Werfel and Temple, but Temple takes it away. Going the other way. Gets picked up a bit by Rutgers defense, but dropped. And now it's back to Rob Pilarski. Gets a shot, but swings it back out to 71, Nolan Sauer. And it is caught by the goalkeeper, number 35, Thomas Spiro, the 6'1", 175-pound sophomore. Now a face-off on Rutgers' side of the ice, and we are a minute underway here at Northeast Skate Zone. Back to Rutgers, across the board. And it's going to be Rutgers on a quick breakaway. 2-on-1. A shot goes high. We are very close to the ice here in Northeast Skate Zone, just above the ice here, middle of the rink. We got a great view here tonight. Rutgers is wearing black, and Temple will be wearing their cream jerseys. They got new jerseys this year, looking very fresh in their new uniforms. Rutgers gets it in the slot, rips a shot, and it gets blocked away quickly. Opportunity quickly there, but Temple able to get it out of their own zone. And it is back to Rutgers, and behind the net goes Temple. Temple gives it off to number 13, Brandon Barrett. Aiden Croak, number 39, gives it back to Barrett. Barrett gives it a rip, but it gets deflected. And it's off, and it's a score! It's a score, early going. Just 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the game, and Temple's on top, 1-0. It was number 39, Aiden Croak, with his 4th point of the season. He had 1 goal and 2 assists coming into tonight's contest. And now he's got his 2nd goal on the season. And that one just ended up in the lap right in front of his face, and it was an easy put away. And the Temple Owls are up 1-0 in the early going of the first period. Hot start for Temple, and the Scarlet Knights find themselves in a quick deficit. Stonefield pushes it back, and now it's back into possession on the backside of the ice for Rutgers. Like I said, Rutgers coming into this one with 2 losses against Oswego, and they are looking for their first win of the season. Not a great start for them, going down 1-0 in the early going. Mention again, it was number 39, Aiden Croak, with his 4th point of the season. 2 goals, 2 assists on the year for him now. Rutgers having it on Temple's side of the ice. Getting a look is Temple. And they get it back on defense, pitch it up the ice. And they will have it, swinging it around. Nolan Sauer has it, playing it safe, moving it back. Sauer to Lerner. Lerner gives it off to Barrett, but he loses it. Back to Rutgers and right back to Temple. Here's C.J. Phillips. C.J. Phillips had it and he just misses wide. About right of the right post. About a foot wide of the right post. That was number 12, C.J. Phillips. Temple getting a few shots very early in this one. Number 35, Thomas Sparrow in net for Rutgers, giving up the early go. 4 shots total so far for Temple, 2 for Rutgers. Temple has it back on Rutgers' side of the ice once again, and it's going to end in a face-off. Number 14, Blake Richmond had the shot on that one. The 6-foot, 165-pounder. 1-0. 4 minutes and 10 seconds into the first period here at Northeast Skate Zone. Stoppage once again in the early going. And Temple's got to be happy about this start, getting a quick lead. Face-off is won by Temple. And it's Lansdowne, gives it off to Stellacio. Stellacio swings it around the board. And stays in Temple's possession. Deflected off the skate of a Rutgers defender. And it stays with number 32, Colin Moran. Rutgers saved themselves for a quick second. Trying to get away out of their own zone. And they do, but it's back into Temple's possession. And it's swung to Bachewski. Number 37, Bachewski, moving it up the ice. Temple's got 3 guys. They have a shot, swinging it around. Trying to get into the slot is Temple, but they give it back up. Rutgers defenseman gets knocked down, and now there's a shot, but not just quite. Temple working around the net, but they lose it, and now it's back to Rutgers. Rutgers moving forward. Number 81, Nate Block had it for a second, the 6-foot, 175-pound freshman, but he was not able to get anything, and there's a turnover quickly by Drays, but it is caught in net. And in net tonight is Oscar Levin, number 30. Nick Golis, number 31, played the first 4 games, but he is not playing tonight. He did a great job. Nick Golis was one of the 3 stars of the week on the last week and had 62 saves through the first 4 games. But it will be Oscar Levin starting in net for the Owls tonight. As I mentioned, he was one of the 3 stars of the week. The other 2 stars for Temple over last weekend was number 23, Julian Rudolph, and number 13, Brandon Barrett. Brandon Barrett, 4 goals, 2 assists on the season, 6 points, and Julian Rudolph, 2 goals, 3 assists on the season, 5 points. And there will be a face-off on Rutgers' side of the ice between Hunter Ringwood, and now Nolan Sauer will have a shot, and he scores! Right off of the face-off, it goes to Nolan Sauer, and it gets deflected into the net. And a great start for the Temple Owls, going up 2-0, 6 minutes into the first period. Nolan Sauer, one of the vice presidents of this Temple Owls team, and he gets a part of the action. How about Nolan Sauer? Right off the face-off, it was Hunter Ringwood. Gets deflected to 71 Sauer, and he puts it home. Shots on goal are 8-3 in favor of Temple, and it has been all Owls in the early going. To Rudolph. Rudolph swings around the board, but nobody's home. And Rutgers has possession, but it gives it up to Ringwood very quickly. Ringwood tries to dish it off, gets deflected quick, and back to Rutgers. What a great start for Temple. 2-0, 13:20 to go in the first period. Rutgers attempting to break away, but it gets stopped quickly. Behind the net is Temple, and they are going to push it forward. Temple on the breakaway, a 2v1. Number 24, Jeffrey Gross, trying to do a cross pass to his teammate, 39, Aiden Gross. Wasn't able to connect. And now Brandon Barrett gets tripped up with a Rutgers defenseman, and Rutgers is back at it. Rutgers trying to make something happen very quickly here as they go down 2-0 early in this first period. Not a great start for Tomas Spar in net for Rutgers. Just one guy down on Temple's side of the ice for Rutgers. Some teammates come back to help, and it's going to go way back. It's going to be number 24, Austin Cross. Excuse me, that was Sindecki, number 23. Number 23, Sindecki for Rutgers, who retained possession. And I mentioned it after the first goal for Temple that they got to be happy with the start. But after Sauer puts one in the net, they could even be more pleased with the start through the first 8 minutes of the game. Up 2-0 goes Temple. Rutgers trying to make something happen. That's going to be saved easily as it was a pretty soft shot from number 23, Sindecki. And that's going to be saved, and it will end in a face-off. Solid turnout here at Northeast Skate Zone. We got some fans all bundled up in this nice and cold rink, as it should be. Rutgers has a chance, and they gets ruled no goal. Official down close to the net. And it will be ruled no goal. Rutgers thought they had something for a second, but they will not get on the board as Oscar Levin is able to hold his ground and keep that one out of the net. There will be a face-off now in the neutral zone. Quick stoppage as the officials talk things over here. Officials talking to head coach Joe Dixon here for Rutgers, telling him what's going on, why the call was made, and they will resume play, and it will stay 2-0 in favor of Temple. Lerner moved it up the ice, over across the board. Behind the net goes Rutgers, and one Temple forward. Sauer has it. Sauer with a goal in the early going. Will put one across the left side of the net, and they will fight over it on Rutgers side of the ice, and Rutgers comes away. Temple able to clear it out and get rid of whatever offense was going on for Rutgers there. Number 37, Ryan Bachewski, had it for a second, but he loses it. Ryan Bachewski, 4 assists on the year. 4 points total on the season so far through the first 4 games. Temple really controlling possession on Rutgers' side of the ice so far and leading the shots total by 3, 9-6. Rutgers very close to scoring just a few moments ago, but officials did rule no goal. And there is 10 minutes to go in this first period as icing is called. Some rotations made for Rutgers and Temple. And through practice this week, Temple talked things over after their 2 losses to William Patterson and George Mason. A 6-3 loss to William Patterson, a 4-2 loss to George Mason. And a friend of mine, CJ Phillips, told me that practice they were switching things up and they're going to get a new look. And that is what happened, and it seems to be a good new boost for the team as they go up 2-0 in the early going. New forward line, he said, and of course the new starting goalie, as I mentioned, in Levin. And it seems to have worked out so far through the first 11 minutes of the first period. Up 2-0, things seem to be going well. Good adjustments made by Coach Calabrese and Coach Matt Gorisco, the assistant coach for Temple. Made the necessary adjustments on defense. And right now, things seem to be working out. Rutgers gets a shot on goal there, but it is scooped up by Levin. And it is saved quickly on that one. Face off on Temple's side of the ice. Rutgers wins it. Albrecht has it. Misses wide right of the net. It is back to Temple. Pops up in the air real quick, but it's back to Jeffrey Gross. Brandon Barrett, the star of the week. One of the stars of the week. One of the 3 last. And he swings it around the board, ends up in the stick of Seth Lerner, but he loses it, and it's back to Gross. Sauer to Lerner, the 2 juniors. To Barrett. Barrett loses footing quickly, but he retains his footing and misses off the skate of a Rutgers defenseman. Now Rutgers looking to push it in the neutral zone. And now they get ahead. It was number 40. Do not have the name currently, but Rutgers comes away empty. Number 44, Garrett Cotta for Rutgers, had it for a moment, the 5'10", 165-pound freshman. Behind the net for Temple goes Nolan Sauer. Temple loses it for a moment, but it ends back up in the stick of Nolan Sauer. Nolan Sauer continuing to be all over the place tonight, and it's C.J. Phillips that he gives it off to, gives it a rip, but goes off the pad of Parr in net for Rutgers. And now a breakaway. 44 Cotta goes high right at the head of Levin, and Levin able to bat it away and ends up in the possession of C.J. Phillips of Temple. Getting it out of their own zone is Temple, but now back to 88 Butchko for Rutgers. Around the board and back behind the net is Temple. Loose possession in the last few moments, but Rutgers has it still. C.J. Phillips takes it away on the defensive side. Swings it around, he falls, but no call is made for tripping. Temple has behind the net, trying to make something happen. Out to Stonefield. Stonefield loses it, and it's number 21, Hilliard. And he gets it taken away. Great defensive play. Great defensive play by number 18, Draves for Temple. Had an opportunity for Hilliard. Not able to make something happen. Got it picked away by Draves. 6:30 to go in the first period. And there will be a stoppage of play very quickly. And the score remains 2-0 in favor of Temple. Aiden Kroos scored the first one in the first 2 minutes of the game. And right after that, it was Nolan Sauer off the faceoff. Put one home to make it 2-0. 6:30 to go in the first period. Behind the net of Rutgers, ends up in number 4, Stonefield. Stonefield, and it's a no-doubter through the legs Almost think it was through the 5-hole of the goalie. And that was Ian Stonefield with his first point of the season. Ian Stonefield, first point, first goal. And the Owls are up 3-0 in this first period. Hot start for Temple. Just like that, in under 14 minutes of play, the Owls have racked up 3 goals. Crow, Sauer, and now Stonefield, the defenseman. And it was off a face-off, just like Sauer's goal. He was right on the blue line on the edge of the neutral zone. And I could have sworn that got through the 5-hole of the goalie. Par for Rutgers. Gotta be happy is Adam Calabrese and assistant coach Matt Garisco with this 3-0 start. Shots on goal, 12-10 in favor of Temple. Temple has it on Rutgers' side of the ice. It's number 2, Seth Lerner. Gets swung around, and now Sauer has it. Sauer gives it a shot. Misses low, but Temple still retains possession. Bodies flying. 23, Julian Rudolph throws a shoulder, but Rutgers comes away with it. Rutgers needing something. Rutgers definitely wanting something by the end of this first period, as they are down 3 goals already. Julian Rudolph fighting for it, and Hunter Ringwood comes away with it. Ringwood to Pilarski, back to Ringwood. And Ringwood gets it taken away by the Rutgers defense. Rutgers on the breakaway, looking for something, needing something early. Already in a 3-goal deficit with 5 minutes to play in the first period. Number 88, Butchko, swings it around the board. There will be some substitutions with 4:54 to go in this first period. A very entertaining start. .32 there, getting a penalty for Temple. That is Callan Moran. And he will be in the penalty box for another minute 50. Is number 32, Callan Moran. Rutgers needing something before the end of this first period if they want to catch any momentum before intermission. But Temple comes away with it, and they got all the momentum. Stonefield has it, one of the goal scorers, the latest goal scorer, the defenseman, scoring his first point of the season, first goal of the season. Is Hilliard for Rutgers. Hilliard making a break, deking his way through the defense. Almost had something there. But Oscar Levin, in his first start of the season, playing pretty well. Has a few saves and a few close ones that he's really had to hold his ground for. And he's held Rutgers Scarlet Knights to 0 through this portion of the first period. 3:40 to go. Number 5, Malik Lansdowne, holding his ground. And Temple is going to come away with it. Great defense by number 5, Lansdowne. Here's Richmond, number 14 for Temple. Gives it a rip right into the chest of Parr. Parr stops, hits a skate of a Rutgers defenseman. Almost gets close to the net. Would have been tragic, but it gets taken away by Ian Stonefield. 2v2 for Temple. Stonefield gives it a rip and another stop by Parr. Back to Stonefield. Stonefield playing it safe, going back into Temple's side of the ice. Stonefield swings around in the net and goes all the way around the board, and it's gonna find number 39, Aiden Kroos, the first goal scorer. Gross tries to give it to his teammate Jeffrey Gross into the slot, but it gets batted away. Fighting for it between 4 players, 2 Rutgers, 2 Temple. And Temple will come away with it into Seth Lerner's hands. Jeffrey Gross bending his way through the defense, misses a few inches wide of the right bar. There was Jeffrey Gross. Schemed his way through the Rutgers defense, almost made it 4-0. And another stoppage of play with a few substitutions. Rob Pilarski, Julian Rudolph, and Hunter Ringwood all entering the game for Barrett Gross and Jeffrey Gross. 3-0, Temple Owls with 2:11 to go in this first period here at Northeast Skate Zone. Temple looking with a hot start, trying to get their 3rd win of the season. And at the end of this, and it's going to be a Rutgers goal. Just as I was going to mention, a quick intermission break with a sideline reporter, Jacob Smedley, but in the meantime, Rutgers does get on the board to make it 3-1 as they needed it desperately. Temple went up 3-0. Mentioned that Rutgers really needed a momentum shift before the end of this period, and they finally get it. Just under 2 minutes to go, they get one in the net, making it 3-1. Still down 2 goals here in the first period, but nonetheless, finally getting something for the morale of the Scarlet Knights. Well, back to what I was going to say. At intermission, we will send it down to Jacob Smedley. He will grab one of the Owls for a quick interview. We will have that at the intermission after the first period. And that will be stopped by 30, Oscar Levin. Oscar Levin had a great start there in the majority of the first period. Finally gives one up with 2 minutes to go in the first. But it does still remain 3-1 in favor of Temple. Shots almost neck and neck. Temple 15-14 with shots on goal. And a great save there by Levin right into his mitt. 1:22 to go. And this face-off will be between Werfel and Gross. Jeffrey Gross been a part of the mix heavily in this first period. Swings it around as Temple. Temple looking to stay aggressive as they still have a 2-goal lead. Number 18, Cody Draws, pushing the momentum. Draws has 1 assist on the year. Across the glass and across the board is a pass by Temple, and it ends up in Gross's hands once again. Back to Draws. Draws has it, gives it to Barrett. Number 13, Barrett, one of the stars of the week, misses high. Stays with Temple. Ian Stonefield gives it right to the goalie there, but ends up off the pad for Barrett. And Bacheski, number 37, Ryan Bacheski, had a chance, but gives it in the lap of Sparrow, Tomas Sparrow, the 6'1", 175-pound sophomore, in net for Rutgers. 20 seconds to go in the first period. 3-1 Temple. Temple looking to stay aggressive, trying to get something right before the end of this period. Behind the net for Temple, Seth Lerner. Closing moments, 5 seconds remaining. Behind the net, and it looks like this will end the first period here at Northeast Skate Zone. Temple Owls up 3-1 after the first period. Scores by Aiden Kroos, Ian Stonefield, and Nolan Sauer put them up 3-0 early. And Rutgers bouncing back with 2 minutes to go in that first period, finally getting on the board, making it 3-1 after a very entertaining first period here at Northeast Skate Zone. As I mentioned, we will send it down to Jacob Smedley just in a few moments. Jacob Smedley is going to be with number 9, Rob Pilarski. Jacob?
I'm up too. Yeah, we talked a lot after last weekend about getting a better start for this weekend. So we just try to work it low to high and then get pucks on net early. I was just in front of the net. I didn't even feel it hit me, but yeah, I mean, we'll take it any way we can get them right now.
Next question. Of course, you guys are up by 2. What's really the biggest thing you guys still need to work on going into the second period?
I think the biggest thing right now is just getting the puck out. We're still having a hard time in our D zone. But once we get the puck out, use our speed, we're faster than the team, so we'll be able to get north quicker.
All right. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks,
all right. Headed back up to James and company in the booth for the second period action.
Thank you so much, Jacob. We appreciate the interview, Rob. And that will do it for the first period. 3-1, Temple on top. We will be back after intermission for the second. I am James Urban. You are listening to Temple Ice Hockey. Welcome back for the second period of Temple versus Rutgers. 3-1 after the first period in favor of Temple. And we are ready to go for this second period. Stonefield, Aiden Kroos, and I mentioned in the first period I thought it was Nolan Sauer, number 71, who scored that second goal, but it was my mistake, and it was actually number 9, Rob Pilarski, 5'11", 175 from Pittsburgh. One of the captains of this team, Rob Pilarski, instead of Nolan Sauer. And Rutgers, after Temple got up 3-0 in that first period, Rutgers finally got on board. A much-needed goal, making it 3-1, and a 2-goal deficit for Rutgers. Lots of action in that first period. And you gotta assume that Rutgers had a lot to talk over during that quick intermission. And Rob also told our sideline reporter Jacob Smedley a few things that they had to do. Nonetheless, up 2 goals at the end of the first period, but still looking for things to improve. So can't expect Temple to back down in any way. And we are 50 seconds in to this second period. Shots on goal in favor of Temple, 18-16. And as I mentioned, Rutgers looking for their first win of this season, and Temple looking for their third win of this season. Going way back, deflected into Rutgers' side of the ice, into Stonefield's stick. And now it's Julian Rudolph who has it for a moment, back into his possession. Hunter Ringwood rips it through the slot, but it gets blocked away by Rutgers. Temple not dominating time of possession, but definitely controlling the energy and the momentum of this game in the early going. Rutgers scoring at the end of the first, finally getting something to go their way, but before that goal, it was all Temple. Now Rutgers takes it away from Pilarski, but Kroos tries to intercept the pass, but can't do it, and ends up in Werfel's hands for Rutgers. Number 23, Zendecki, for Rutgers loses it, and it's back to 39 for the Owls. Jeff Gross in possession. He also loses it. Gonna be a quick stop there, and there will be a face-off in the neutral zone. 2 minutes and 16 seconds into the second period. A great game so far here at Northeast Skate Zone, the new home for Temple this year as they moved from Mount Laurel, New Jersey to here, the Northeast Skate Zone, and new jerseys this year as they are wearing their cream editions tonight, and Rutgers is in black. Temple with the stop into Barrett's hands, and then it goes to Malik Lansdowne for Temple, but Rutgers gets it right back. Rutgers trying to make this a 1-goal game. Would be huge for them to get on board first in this period. 3-2, a lot different of a look than 4-1. But Temple able to get a stop here, and Lansdowne flips it up in the air to Cotta, number 44 for Rutgers. Rutgers with a bad pass, but doesn't hurt him, and Temple is going to make a few substitutions. Lerner for the Owls, and Rutschman in 14 gets out there. Oscar Levin still in net. His first start of the season as he replaces Nick Gullis. Oscar Levin had a great start to the period, making a few awesome saves, but eventually let one in just in the final minutes of that first period. But nonetheless, a great performance to start things off for him in his season. Face-off in Temple zone. Easily won by Temple and gets stopped into the hands of Oscar Levin. A few pushes and shoves. Officials got to get into the mix of things. Breaking up 71 Nolan Sauer. And number 16 for Rutgers. Another face-off between Phillips and Ryan Ozamanek for Rutgers. Ozamanek, one of the few freshmen that get a good amount of burn on this Scarlet Knights squad. And it will yet again be another face-off in the same circle. 72 Ozamanek and 37 Bacheski. Won by Temple. Here's number 8, Joseph Stalasio. Gives it back to Stalasio. Stalasio has the 2-on-2. He's breaking away. Tries to use the backhand, and it gets stopped by Sparrow. In net is Sparrow for Rutgers, and he makes the stop on the 2v2 breakaway for Temple. And we are 4 minutes and 8 seconds through this second period. Face-off won by Temple. Out to Stonefield in the same spot that he scored his first goal, and he scores again! Ian Stonefield, same spot, same result. Stonefield with his second goal of the night. And his second point, nothing coming into tonight, and now he's has 2 goals. What a game for Ian Stonefield, number 4. How about that? Called out that he had it in the same spot that he scored the first goal. Rips the same way and same result. And now it is 4-1 in favor of the Owls. Just like that, the Owls strike first here in the second period. 15:30 to go, and it makes it 4-1 Temple. And here's Ryan Bacheski looking to keep the pace up for Temple. But Rutgers takes it away. Here's here's Reagan, number 40 for Rutgers. Loses it, pops up in the air off of his skate. But back to 23 Zendecki, and he gives it back to Reagan. Reagan gives it off on a crosser. That was number 26 in black for the Scarlet Knights. Gives a rip, but Oscar Levin, once again, being a stone wall so far tonight, and makes a great stop. There's 44 Kata. Has to drop it, and out to 2v3 for Temple, but they missed the mark. Here's Pilarski. Off the mark once again, another save by Sparrow. Pilarski tries to swing it across the board, but they lose it. And here's Ringwood, score! Off the deflection of the board from Pilarski, and it ends up to Ringwood, and he goes top deck, top right deck past Sparrow, and just like that, in the last minute and a half, Temple has 2 goals in this second period. 5-1 Owls. Stonefield scores his second, and then Ringwood gets his first goal of the night. And now there is a keeper change. Thomas Sparrow letting up 5 goals in just 26 minutes of play for Rutgers. And now they throw in, that is number 33 for Rutgers. Definitely a much needed change for the Scarlet Knights as they give up 2 quick goals in this second period. making it 5-1. Making a big change that they will need heavily, as well as some offense. Rutgers talking things over, calling a timeout. We are going to go to a quick break as Temple goes up 5-1. We will be right back. And we are back after the timeout by Rutgers, a much-needed one, as Temple goes up 5-1. And now Rutgers finds himself in a 4-goal hole. Stonefield with his second goal of the night, and then Ringwood gets on the board. Rutgers still with a lot of time to play, as they still have 34 minutes remaining to make something happen in this game. But as of right now, it is all Temple. Here's Julian Rudolph swinging it across the ice, nobody home. It ends up in Cotta's hands. Malik Lansdowne had it for a moment. And as I mentioned, keeper Thomas Sparrow, the 6'1", 175-pound sophomore, gets pulled after letting up 5 goals through 25 minutes, and he is replaced. See if it changes anything for Rutgers, as Temple's offense has been money all night so far. Brandon Barrett, star of the week last week, trying to make something happen, going coast to coast, swinging around the net and gets tripped up. Jeff Gross has it, back to Barrett. Barrett swinging around the net, gives it off to Lerner on the edge of the neutral zone. Turns around as Barrett, finds Gross, trying to make something happen, getting it to the middle. And Barrett rips a shot, but it gets deflected and it goes high. 71 Sauer playing conservative, and he gets back on defense, and he gives it to his partner in crime, the junior connection, Sauer and Lerner. And now there's some more substitutions as Lerner and Sauer come out. Draws an 18, and Stonefield with 2 goals come back onto the ice, as CJ Phillips does as well in 12. Rutgers, it's Butchko in 88, doesn't really have much there, and gives it right to Oscar Levin. Here's 89 for Temple, trying to make something happen. Doesn't get anything going there. It is going to go back to Rutgers. 18 draws, swings it across the ice to Phillips. Phillips gets himself into trouble, and he loses it. Now Rutgers having an opportunity, 2v1, and it gets batted away from behind by Stonefield. Stonefield making plays all over the place, and now there is a little bit of pushing and shoving between 89 of Temple and 21 of Rutgers, and there will be a face-off with 11:42 remaining in this second period. 5-1 Temple. 4-goal deficit for Rutgers, and they are definitely going to need something big in the coming moments for this momentum to shift, because as of right now, it is not pretty on the sideline for Rutgers. Tension's definitely rising. Pulling the keeper, trying to make something happen in any way that they can. And here's Lansdowne for Temple, playing it safe behind their own net. Lansdowne moves it out, finally. Gives it off. Joseph Stallasio has it for a moment. And now it is out to Lansdowne. Rutgers, 44, 40 Reagan. Reagan goes high over the head of Levin. And Levin continues to be a beast, just letting up one goal late in that first period, but since then has proved himself and stays true to be that stone wall. Stalasio going up to him, giving a fist bump, telling him that he's doing a great job and to keep it up, but there will be a face-off in Temple's territory. Rutgers comes away with it. Nolan Sauer takes it right back. Gives it off to Stalasio. But right back to the Scarlet Knights. 81, Nate Block. Out to Rutgers, and it gets blocked by the skate of Nolan Sauer. And now Temple's got a breakaway. It's 2v1. Temple, the breakaway, an easy goal! What a 2v1 play by Temple. It was number 17, Carter Pavazan, giving it up with the assist. And it was 90 in the cream and red, putting it home. And that makes it 6-1 Temple. 5-goal lead, 3 goals scored in just 10 minutes in this second period. And now Temple marching all over the Scarlet Knights. It was a great breakaway, great offense. 17 Pavazan waiting until the last moment to get the Rutgers goalie to commit, and then he gives it up. And it is a great assist to a wide open net. Nobody was stopping that. And it is 6-1 in favor of the Owls with 10:20 to go in this second period. Temple's offense continuing to be on fire. Approaching their highest goal-scoring game of the season. They scored 7 goals against TCNJ in their first game of the season. And they are certainly on track to go above that with 6, with 10 minutes to go in the second. Temple can maybe get all the way up to 10 goals here tonight. Just a great opportunity that they took advantage of on the breakaway. That was just some beautiful hockey by Temple. And Temper's definitely flaring for Rutgers. You can see on the faces. You can see on the faces of Rutgers that they are upset with their play right now. And it is number 23. It is number 23, Julian Rudolph, with a cross-checking penalty. And he will be in the box. It is going to be a 2-minute penalty on Temple with Julian Rudolph cross-checking. But nonetheless, Temple dominating every aspect of this one here tonight. Up 6-1. Yes, you heard it. 6-1, just like that. You maybe thought after the first period, Rutgers gets one to get in the net, making it 3-1. Maybe they got a little momentum, talk things over at intermission. They score a goal. Maybe it's a 1-goal deficit. But Temple said no way, and they score 3 unanswered, making it a 5-goal game. And here's Seth Lerner getting rid of it, getting it out of Temple's territory. Rutgers trying to make something happen. Whatever they can do to just get something to go their way with 9 minutes to go in this second period. And it is a minute off the penalty clock for Julian Rudolph. One of the stars of the week last week. 2 goals, 3 assists for him last week. He had the cross-checking penalty, but the penalty only remains for 45 more seconds. And a rip by Rutgers goes just wide left. Back out to Butchko, 88. He gets thrown around. 89 in the cream and red, takes it away. Here's CJ Phillips with a big opportunity. Phillips, here he goes, and he just misses wide. CJ Phillips having an opportunity with the one-on-one with the goalie, but he can't take advantage. And Rutgers goes the other way and puts it right into the lap of Oscar Levin. Oscar Levin continuing to just be a stone wall. 1 goal let up on the whole night. 8:16 to go in this second period. Shots on goal tied up at 22 apiece. Penalty clock just about ready to end. 10 seconds on that. And now a 2v2. Here's Ryan Bacheski and Brandon Barrett. Bacheski turns it around. Gives it off to Callan Moran, 32, who had one of the penalties in the first period. But both of those penalties on Temple have not hurt them whatsoever. Not giving up a goal in either of those durations of the penalties. Now 7:51 to go in this second period. Face-off getting ready to be dropped. It's Bacheski, 37 for Temple. Bacheski loses it, and Rutgers takes it away. Here's Garrett Cotta, 44 in black. Stonefield from a mile away gives it a slap shot, but it goes wide right. And the Rutgers goalie doesn't have to do much about it. Here's Julian Rudolph, just coming out of the penalty box. Rudolph, the scrappy 5'7", 155-pounder. Stonefield, 2 goals on the night, gives it off to his fellow defenseman, draws. And here's Julian Rudolph, who I just mentioned, crossing across the ice. It was Brandon Barrett who just missed a good save by the Rutgers goalie. And Brandon Barrett comes away, no goal on that one. A good rip nonetheless. Ends up back in his hands, avoids the defender. Smooth move by Barrett. Gives it off to 7 for Temple, and he goes high right, just above the post there. Was number 7, Gabriel Bullard. The 5'7", 155-pounder, Bullard, just goes high. His first shot of the night ends up back in his hands. Gives it off to Jeff Gross. Jeff Gross gives it off to Aiden Gross. And here's Nolan Sauer. Nolan Sauer gives it a rip, but it's blocked. A good opportunity there. But it is a good save by Rutgers. There will be a quick stop here as there is 6:12 remaining in this second period. There is going to be a penalty on number 39, Aiden Croak. He scored the first one here tonight to tee things off. One of the 6 goals for Temple. There is a guy down for Rutgers, holding his collarbone. Unfortunate to see. Unfortunate to see for Rutgers. Number 37, Solove, taking a tough hit to the shoulder, collarbone area, and he will get some medical attention. It was number 39, Aiden Croak, making the hit, and it will be the second penalty for Temple of this second period. One of the Rutgers coaches looking over to a few of the assistants, giving the no good sign. Does not look good for Solove of Rutgers, hoping that he's all right and gets taken care of. But we are back in business. Remains 6-1 Temple, and Rutgers has possession. Number 40, Reagan, giving a rip. Goes all the way back to Rutgers goalkeeper. Temple's defense doing a good job of limiting the opportunities during these penalties for Rutgers. 1:30 remains on the clock for the penalty. 5:30 to go in the second period. 26-23 is the shots on goal in favor of Temple. Shot goes low for Albrecht. off the skate, stays in possession, back to Albrecht. Cross the ice to Reagan. Reagan Albrecht, and Albrecht turns it over. Here's 89 and Rutschman, 14 on the 2v2. Can't make anything happen. Rutgers with a good stop. Rutgers on the breakaway. 4v3. And they come up empty-handed once again. And Temple just doing what they've done all night. Just getting rid of everybody. Seth Lerner trying to intercept that long pass. Not able to get it done. And here's forward Max Levenberg for Rutgers. Giving it off to Butchko. Butchko right over the head of Oscar Levin. In the slot for a second. But Rutgers yet again coming up empty-handed. Still with possession. Back out to 88 Butchko. Butchko going low. Will it be a goal? Is it ruled? Still waiting on the ruling by the officials. And it will be a goal. Looked like it was a deflection from Butchko into the net. And Rutgers makes it 6-2. A 4-goal deficit still. But Temple giving up one. That's the second one given up tonight by Oscar Levin. And Rutgers gets on the board during the penalty by Aiden Croak, taking advantage. Taking advantage of the penalty. Making it 6-2 with 4 minutes to go in this second period. And as I mentioned at the start of this game, Temple making adjustments throughout the week in practice, trying to get a new look, new forward look on the offense, new starting goalie. And so far, even though a goal just was given up by Levin, it has seemed to work out, especially the new forward line, as Temple has put up 6 goals in 36 minutes of play so far. Temple trying to get a new record for their goal scoring so far this season. It looks like it's going to be an offside call on Rutgers. Their teammates on the sideline not happy about that one. Trying to get something going, maybe make it a 3-goal game going into the final period. Make something happen. Still 3:50 to go in this second period. Levenberg and Ringwood in the faceoff. Rudolph coming away with it. Rudolph trying to make something happen. Finds Ringwood. Ringwood almost has a shot on it, but goes a little wide. Ringwood behind the net, looking at his options. Dishing it across the ice to Lansdowne. Malik Lansdowne put it into the business of the Rutgers defense. Julian Rudolph with the rebound and just goes wide. And it's back to Pilarski. Out to Ringwood. Excuse me, Rudolph. Rudolph gets pinned up against the board and he loses it. 40. Reagan in black for Rutgers, trying to make something happen at the end of this third period. Cut this deficit down even more. Here's Cotta for Rutgers. Cotta giving it out to Levenberg. Not able to get anything on that one. And here's 39, Aiden Croak out of the penalty box. One of the 3 players with a penalty here tonight for Temple. Rutgers right behind the net of Temple. And Temple staying very solid on the defensive side here tonight. Here's Brandon Barrett getting tripped up behind by Butchko. Seemed like he almost had an opportunity there, but it gets lost. Gonna see what the call is here. Quick stop with 2:14 to go in this second period. It's gonna be tripping by Butchko. That's going to be a penalty on number 88, Butchko. As Brandon Barrett was making a move, looked like he was going to get a shot, but not able to get it off. But nonetheless, it's going to be a 2-minute penalty on Butchko. Here's Draws. Out to Sauer. Sauer and Draws behind the net. And here comes Julian Rudolph, scooping it off from Draws. All the way to Joseph Stasio. Out to Sauer. To Draws. Here's Rudolph. Draws at the top of the slot. Rudolph gives it to Stasio. Loses it for a moment. But here's Rudolph. Temple looking at their options, taking their time on this possession with 1:30 to go in the second. Here's Sauer across the ice, and a rip by Rudolph, and it just goes high and wide right of the net. Still remains Temple possession. Lots of looks here. A scoop by Stasio, almost has it, but it gets batted away by the Rutgers defense. Rutgers defense very fortunate not to give one up there. Stasio had a very clean look at it there. And there's 58 seconds to go in this second period. Here's Rudolph. Gets taken away. Officials telling the Rutgers sideline to calm down a little bit. Definitely frustrated here. Still down 4 goals. 37 seconds remain on Butchko's penalty. And it does remain 6-2 in favor of Temple with 50 seconds to go in this second period. Temple sticking with the possession, and that was Malik Lansdowne with the slap shot, but it gets stopped and it will be a face-off. We are going to send it to our sideline reporter, Jacob Smedley, at intermission for another interview. We're going to wait and see who we have there for the interview, but that will be coming up at the end of this second period. 40 seconds remain. Gets past Barrett after the face-off with Ringwood. Barrett gives it off on the handoff to Pilarski. Pilarski looking to get something before the end of the period. Swinging around the net. Off to Lansdowne. Malik Lansdowne back to Pilarski. Same spot for Lansdowne. Tries to go low, and it's a great save by Rutgers. 18 seconds remain, the closing moments of the second period. Temple coming out hot in this second period. 3-1 at the start of it, and now 6-2 at the end of it. 3 goals scored by Temple in the first 10 minutes of this second period. A great start for them, and their offense has been clicking all night. Here's Lerner giving it a wrister on the left side of the net, and it gets blocked off on the shin of the Rutgers goalie. 2 seconds remain in Sauer's hands, and it will get to the end of the second period. 6-2. It's been all Temple here tonight at Northeast Skate Zone. Temple surely looking good to be on their way for their third victory. Got to keep it up in this third period. We're going to send it down to Jacob Smedley for an interview just in the coming moments. Going to see who he picks out for this interview.
Thanks, James. Down here with Oscar Levin, the goalie for tonight. 2 goals. The team's up by 4. How are you feeling in that after 2?
I feel good. I mean, we just got to settle in, and the boys doing a really good job with the PK and power play. Well, we got to settle in and just push for the next period. 1 more to go.
Yeah, talking about that PK. Final question. You got 5-on-4. The guy's bearing down in front of you. The blocks. How are you feeling in net, moving side to side, making some big saves?
It's been a while since my first game last year in Buffalo, but at the same time, it's still good. My feet's still good. I just got to keep myself going. 1 more period.
All right. Get your feet in the intermission. You take a break. We'll see you out for the 3rd period. Thank you for Oxford. We'll send it back up to James and crew in the broadcast booth.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Awesome interview with Oscar Levin in his first start. He says he feels good, and he surely looks good as Temple is up 6-2 at the end of the 2nd period. We're going to be back for the 3rd in just about 12 minutes. I have been James Urban calling Temple Ice Hockey. We will be back for the 3rd. Welcome back to Temple Ice Hockey here. I am James Urban, and Temple at the start of the third quarter has a 6-2 lead over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And we are off and ready to go for the final 20 minutes of the third period here at Northeast Skate Zone. Temple's offense been on fire all night through the first two periods. 6 goals, and as I mentioned earlier in the second period, 3 goals through the first 10 minutes in that second period. Hot start for them, and they have not looked back. Rutgers just trying to save themselves an opportunity, a slim opportunity to win this game. Down 4, not over at all. Icing call quickly there. 9:34 in this final period for Temple. Definitely in a comfortable position, but you cannot expect them to lay off in any circumstance. Cannot back down, looking for their third win of this season. And Rutgers looking at a tall task to get their first win of the season as they came in 0-1-1. Down 4 as Hilliard checks Salasio into the board right there. Salasio fighting his way behind Rutgers' net. Stays with Temple. Temple has it behind their own net. Throwing it all the way back. Gets past Julian Rudolph. Rudolph had a cross-checking penalty in the second period. Rutgers also suffering an injury. Number 37, Ryan Solove, unfortunately taking a big hit to the shoulder, collarbone area. Still waiting to see the official review on that, but definitely hoping that Ryan is all right. Quick stop here. We are a minute through on an offsides penalty, 8:52 in the final period. Face-off in the neutral zone between a captain, number 9, Max Levenberg, and number 11, Hunter Ringwood, who also is one of the goal scorers here tonight. Malik Lansdowne with a big hit into the board. Goes flying, number 4 in black on Rutgers. Lansdowne puts it to the middle of the ice, and Julian Rudolph comes away with it. Rudolph goes high, and it gets batted away by the goalie, number 33, Rutgers. This one goes out of play, and it will be a face-off as 71, Sauer, 13, Barrett, 24, Jeff Gross, 39, Aiden Kroos, all come onto the ice. Oscar Levin staying strong in net as it is his first start of the season. Just lined up 2 goals so far, making a lot of saves, looking good so far in his debut this year. Sideline reporter Jacob Smedley got the chance to interview him at the end of that second, and Levin said he feels great. His feet feel good. He's feeling smooth in the blue box. So things are looking up for the Temple goalie. 2 minutes and 13 seconds into this third period, 17:40 remain. And Temple still with a 4-goal lead. Barrett playing some defense, making a big hit, but it stays with Max Werfel, the forward, for Rutgers. Giving it up right away, back to Temple, it goes to Jeff Gross. Jeff Gross to Brandon Barrett, one of the 3 stars of the week. Him and Rudolph, the 2 forwards that were stars of the week last week, been a part of the action tonight, not one of the 2 goal scorers. Now it looks like there's going to be a penalty there on Rutgers, and it is Butchko once again. Butchko with his second penalty of the game, had one in the second period. Butchko a little frustrated here in the early going of the third, and he will sit for 2 minutes in the box. 17:06 to go in the third. Temple on Rutgers' side of the ice. Aiden Kroos, first goal scorer of the 6, starting things off here tonight for Temple. And they have not looked back ever since. Malik Lansdowne, number 5, gives it back to Barrett. Barrett looks to have an opportunity in the slot, but pushes it back out to captain Rob Pilarski. Rob Pilarski scored also a goal off a deflection from a face-off. It went to Sauer. Sauer deflects it off of Pilarski, and he is one of the goal scorers as well. 4 minutes into the third, 16 to go. Temple looking to get their 3rd victory of the year. Here to protect their home ice, the Northeast Skate Zone, the new home of the Temple Owls for the 23-24 season. Julian Rudolph has it. Playing it behind the net. Julian Rudolph gives it off to Barrett. Barrett making something happen, but it gets taken away and shoved down. But it stays with Barrett. But now back behind the Temple net. Just stalling clock here with a 4-goal lead. Temple looking to not make any mistakes, looking to keep it on the Rutgers side of the ice. Push the pedal. Sauer had it for a moment, but a turnover off his own teammate's skate. And back to Jeff Gross. 24, Jeff Gross with a 2v2. Back to Julian Rudolph. Rudolph rips it to Gross. Across the ice. Gross swings it around the board, and it'll be back in Rudolph's hand. Rudolph makes a move, but he's going to lose it. And now Rutgers on the breakaway. And it is going to be an offside. And the Rutgers sideline very upset with the call, but it seemed to be a clear offsides on Oziminik, number 72. 72, Oziminik was going to have a one-on-one with Levin, but the penalty was called on the offsides. And head coach Joe Dixon for Rutgers is not happy about the call. Nonetheless, the call is made, and 5 minutes are through in this final period, and Rutgers still staring at that 4-goal deficit. Rutgers flying it across the goal. Not on target, though. Here's number 32, Callan Moran, secretary of this Temple ice hockey team. He had a penalty here tonight, but playing solid defense as one of the defensemen here tonight. Officials coming in to break it up once again. Rutgers, of course, not happy with their product of play so far tonight. Throughout the team and the coaches, definitely expecting a better outing from the Scarlet Knights as they still face this tall task, down 6-2, and Temple just continuing to take care of business, especially on the defense. It was a focus throughout practice this week. And they fixed up the lineups as they gave up 10 goals in the last 2 games, 6 to William Patterson and 4 to George Mason. Critiqued a few things on the offensive side, but especially on the defensive side, switching out the keeper, putting in Levin. And they have really been playing strong here tonight on the defensive side. Rutgers really not getting too many opportunities at all, as Temple now has 10 more shots on goal, 35-25 in favor of Temple. And Ryan Bachewski gives it off to Joseph Stalasio. Bachewski Has it in the slot. Tries to go low, but it gets broken up. Here's Stallasio wanting to take on about 4 or 5 Scarlet Knights, but not before the official gets in there and says, nah, none of that here tonight. Officials have been doing a great job keeping everybody composed. Four officials out here tonight. Like I mentioned, doing an amazing job keeping things together. And Ryan Paczewski wins the face-off. But Garrett Cotta for Rutgers takes it away behind Rutgers' net and stays with Rutgers. Now here's Rutgers. Not a great look. Almost had the breakaway, but Temple's defense doing what they've been doing all night in stopping any slim chance that the Scarlet Knights have had. Here's Rutgers on defense. It was Paczewski trying to make a play in transition, but gets taken away. And now we are 7 minutes through in this third period. And it looks like it will be a tripping call on number 90 for Temple. That will be a penalty. 12:52 to go in the third. Holding. It was a holding call on 90, and that will be a 2-minute penalty for Temple. Mentioned last period, Temple's done a great job at staying true on defense even through the penalties. And just as I mentioned it, Oscar Levin with the save 4 seconds into the penalty. And now Rutgers really having an opportunity that they need to take advantage of. These next 2 minutes are huge to get something going. Could make it a 3-goal game with 10 minutes remaining, possibly. Wouldn't be impossible. But Rutgers definitely needing something in the coming moments. Here's Butchko, 88, has 2 penalties under his belt tonight. He turns it over momentarily, but he gets it right back, and he gives it to number 40, Reagan. Rutgers needing to take advantage of this. Butchko gets blocked by Ringwood. Ringwood making a great defensive play there, stopping it with the shin and flipping it up in the air and really stalling this penalty for a few more moments. A great defensive play by Hunter Ringwood, the senior. Hunter Ringwood, also one of the vice presidents of this Temple ice hockey team. And here's Temple, really playing conservative, just getting rid of this penalty clock and just the clock in general as we are approaching the 11-minute mark in the third quarter. No goals scored in this final period, and Temple has no issue with that whatsoever as they still hold the 4-goal lead. Rutgers trying to make something happen, but it's a low shot, wide left. And Oscar Levin in front of that one as well. And the penalty clock is done. 90 for the Cream and Red is out of the box. Temple back to full health. And here's number 2, Seth Lerner, the junior. Gives it up, gets it right back, fighting for his position. But now Rutgers. And it was Nate Block, 81 in black, the Scarlet Knight. Tried to go in the 5-hole for number 30, Oscar Levin. But Levin says he felt good at the intermission. Continues to feel good there with the save. So through the first period, it was 3-1. 4 goals scored in that first period. And then 4 goals scored in the second period, making it 6-2. But so far, in this final period, no goals at all. Remains standstill at 6-2. .10:06 to go in the third. We are halfway through this final period. And Temple really looking promising to bring this one home tonight. Just trying to stay true on the defensive side, which they've been doing all night. Really keeping time of possession, keeping momentum in their favor. The chances have been limited for the Scarlet Knights all night. Scarlet Knights scoring at the end of the first period with 2 minutes to go, and at the end of the second period as well. But in the moments when the Rutgers team really needs one, they have not been able to answer. Jeff Gross trying to get through the defense, but Kata for Rutgers takes it away. And here's 23 Zendecki back to Kata. And it goes right back to Temple. And that has been the story all night. And here comes Temple. 89 in the cream and red from Stonefield. Stonefield with the rebound, and now here is C.J. Phillips. C.J. Phillips with an opportunity in the slot, but gives it back out to number 9, Rob Pilarski. Rob Pilarski trying to get his way through the defense, and Rutgers takes it away. Here's number 40, Reagan. Reagan on the right side, trying to make something happen, and he gets it taken away. Here's number 88, Butchko, giving a wrister rip, but it goes left wide. Nobody been able to get by Oscar Levin here tonight. We are 12 minutes through in the final period, 8 minutes remaining. And it has been all Temple. And now this period they've been playing all defense, just making sure that they don't give up anything on the back end as an icing gets called. And there's going to be a face-off on Rutgers' side of the ice. 5 Lansdowne, 7 Bullard, 37 Bacheski, 32 Callan Moran, and number 14 Blake Richmond on the ice for Temple. Across the boards is Max Werfel for Rutgers, gets knocked down. And here's Lansdowne playing it safe. And Gabriel Bullard through the left side, trying to cross through. Looks like a call was made. Rutgers coach has been upset all night. Looks like I maybe heard his blade was gone, possibly. Don't really know what happened, but tripping. Rutgers coach saying one of their players lost a blade on the tripping penalty that was just called. It was number, it was 40 for Temple. Rutgers coach is looking for an explanation here. Nonetheless, still down 4 goals with 7:20 remaining. Tripping call is the penalty. Rutgers coach very apparently upset that the player's blade was gone during the moment that he got hit. Maybe thinking a little bit of a dirty play from Temple. But it looks like Temple is not very fazed by whatever happened. Head coach Joe Dixon for Rutgers and assistant coaches all asking shouting matches between the Rutgers coaches and officials. It has been kind of the story the entire night. Not on the same page with the officials here at the Northeast Skate Zone. Temple stayed out of the mix for the most part here tonight. Their sideline's been pretty quiet and happy, but frustrations definitely high for the Scarlet Knights as they are still winless and looking to still be winless after tonight. And it is a long break here as the discussion continues between the Rutgers coaches and 3 officials now. But it seems that the discussion could finally be coming to an end. But I could be wrong. And it seems like one official says, all right, I think we're ready to get on with this thing. And the face-off is finally dropped after about a 1:30 break there. 2-minute break to talk things over. As 7 minutes remain. Rutgers trying to leave off on somewhat of a positive note. Get something going before the end of this one as a wrister is saved. Shot by Ian Stonefield. Ian Stonefield having a great game for himself tonight. 2 goals. 2 goals from the same spot, just on different sides of the ice. Right inside the neutral zone on the left side. Same shot, same wrister. Same result for him. He's been having a great game. And now it is 6-2 still with 6:30 remaining in the final period. Coming in the closing moments here. Here's number 11, Hunter Ringwood, the senior. Also been contributing very well so far tonight. And players are mixing it up here. Hunter Ringwood shoving. 81, Nate Block coming in to defend his teammate. And players are chirping in the final moments. And Temple feeling good about themselves with this 4-goal lead. Temple winning the face-off. 6 minutes to go in the third period. As these last few minutes, tempers really flaring between both these teams, between the coaches, officials, and the players. All 3 aspects of the game. A little bit of anger throughout, but Temple, of course, being able to talk with their chest and head held high with the 4-goal lead. And here's Nolan Sauer behind the net, throwing it across the board to 23, Julian Rudolph. Back to Sauer. 5:30 remaining. Here's number 18, Draws. Draws misses. Gets stopped by the glove, number 33 in net for Rutgers. And there will be 2 seconds remaining on the penalty clock for 40 in the cream and red. And Temple just 2 seconds away from being back to full health here. 5:22 on the clock. Malik Lansdowne gives it off to Callan Moran. Here's Rutgers. Gives it off to Hilliard. Hilliard goes low. Hilliard going low, but not able to get by Oscar Levin, as not much has been able to get by him all night. That shot by Rutgers makes the shots on goal 40-31 in favor of Temple. As 5:07 remains on the clock here at Northeast Skate Zone. Rutgers working behind Temple's net. Bachewski taking care of business. Bachewski trying to get it out of there. Here's Gabriel Bullard, also trying to play keeps. Gabriel Bullard having it for a moment. Back to Bachewski. Ryan Bachewski going the other way. It's a 2v1, wide open. And here's a goal! Bachewski to number 90, and that's his second goal of the night. And a great breakaway there by Temple. Breakaway opportunity converted, and that has been the story of tonight. Temple taking their opportunities and taking advantage of them, and Rutgers not being able to. And that makes it 7-2, and Temple ties their highest scoring goal for the season with 7. They scored 7 in their season opener, and they have 7 here tonight. They score with just under 5 minutes remaining here in the final period. And now we have 4 minutes to go before this one is most definitely over. Hate to say a team is fully out of it, but Rutgers looking like they will be traveling back to Piscataway with an L in their pocket. Temple just dominating both sides of the puck tonight, offensively and defensively. And the first day starter, Oscar Levin, really putting on a show here tonight. Being a stonewall, as I've mentioned many times. Got to give him credit for his performance tonight and just everybody's performance across the board. Plenty of goal scorers. Wasn't just a few guys for Temple here tonight. Everybody contributing. Everybody getting a piece of the action, whether it be goal scoring, assists, or just making amazing defensive plays. Temple absolutely putting on a clinic here defending their home ice tonight. That brings us to 3 minutes here. And Oscar Levin once again. And the pushing and shoving continues. We just hope to get out of here before something ugly happens. No reason for Temple to egg anything on, as they are most definitely going to get out of here with a W. Hooking was the call there on number 9, Max Levenberg, the forward, 6 foot, 175-pound junior for the Scarlet Knights. A hooking call. Oh, for Temple, excuse me. Robert Pilarski, hooking call. 5'11", 175 pounds, senior on the hooking call. But here's Julian Rudolph, the star of the week, on the breakaway, and gets batted away up over into the net. Excuse me on that. That was number 9, Robert Pilarski, in the penalty box for another minute 48. As it seems like we know what the result will be of this one. Temple will come away with a W, and Rutgers will most likely come away with a loss. Rutgers will start the season 0-2-1 as they will head to Lehigh next Friday night. Rutgers, as I just mentioned, will play Lehigh on October 5th in their matchup. And Temple will go tomorrow night at William Patterson for a rematch at 8 p.m. at Ice Vault Arena in New Jersey. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast that they took a 6-3 loss on September 22nd against William Patterson, and they will get a second go at it against William Patterson at 8 o'clock tomorrow night at Ice Vault Arena. Ice Vault Arena, for anybody listening that wants to head with the Temple Owls on the road. Definitely a team you want to watch after tonight, putting up 7 goals. Now the winning record, 3-2. And they will head out of this one tonight with a W, improving to 3-2, and Rutgers will fall to 0-2-1. Rutgers taking on Lehigh in their next matchup, and Temple taking on William Patterson in a rematch. 1:23 to go, 20 seconds remaining for Rob Pilarski in the penalty box after the hooking call. And we are just about ready to go at Northeast Skate Zone as Temple will protect their home ice. Can really see the pace of play. Some final shots between Rutgers and Temple. Both these teams clearly not really liking each other the entire night, and it's very much showing in this final period. A broken stick there from Ryan Bacheski on the slap shot, but it won't matter whatsoever as there is 27 seconds remaining in this final period. Temple head coach Adam Calabrese and assistant coach Matt Gorisco preparing their team well, and they really came and delivered here on this Friday night, took care of business, and they will sure be happy with this performance when they head back to the locker room. 20 seconds on the clock. Out to 90 was 2 goals for the Owls here tonight. Rob Pilarski out of the box. Under 10 seconds here. And that will do it here at Northeast Skate Zone. That will be the buzzer there. And the final score is 7-2. Temple going to celebrate with each other. Going to celebrate with each other right now. The Owls taking care of business here at home with a 7-2 win. We are going to send it to Jacob Smedley after both teams shake hands. Hopefully, no bad blood, just good competition here tonight. Respect between both teams, hopefully. Temple, as I said, both sides of the puck, offensively, defensively, really putting on a clinic. Tons of goal scorers, tons of great defensive plays, and number 30, Oscar Levin. And number 30, Oscar Levin, in his first start of the season, really feeling good and showing out. Doing well. We will send it to Jacob Smedley here for a post-game interview. Gonna wait to see who he interviews, and we are going to send it to Jacob.
Thank you, James. We're down here with Jordan Janish. 2 goals in the Owls. 7-2 win over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Jordan, so you got that goal in the third, added a second one for the Knights. Take through that goal, a big win, getting the third of the season.
Well, Butchie, just stopped me on puck, getting the puck up, and he just got me across. I was able to get it across the crease and put it in. Boys got it done great, tucked in deep. We got the job done tonight, and, we look forward to moving that energy back tomorrow.
Yeah, and taking a look at this game too, maybe not a non-conference game, but a big game against a cross-state rival. Take me through that atmosphere, what you guys were thinking in the locker room.
It feels great. Once we got the lead in the locker room, we weren't too high, we weren't too low. We just told the boys, let's just keep going, let's keep pushing, and, we got the job done.
Final question, what's the biggest thing carrying tonight into tomorrow night on the road against William Patterson?
Oh, definitely the energy, 100% the energy. On the bench, on the ice, the boys are just loud, and that's how we got to keep it.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Go celebrate with the guys. We'll send it back up to James and the crew.
Thank you so much, Jacob. And as Jordan mentioned, the boys are feeling very good about themselves. Going to ride this high into tomorrow night as they go on the road to New Jersey for a rematch against William Patterson at 8 p.m. at Ice Vault Arena. The final score here, 7-2. Temple improves to 3-2. I am James Urban, and you have been listening to Temple Ice Hockey.